Hello everybody, and welcome to another Game News Roundup where I go over the latest gaming news, VGChartz estimates when available, any other sales figures, and anything of interest over the last several days. As always, this is being live streamed on Twitch, twitch.tv/TrunksWD. And if you enjoy this, hit the like button, subscribe, and all that jazz. And yes, if anyone's watching this live right now, feel free to sub on my YouTube. And hit the like button, leave comments, YouTube algorithm and stuff. So, instead of doing the usual VGChartz estimates at the beginning, we're going to do what might be bigger news, or maybe more interesting, or more clickbaity. Although the next VGChartz estimates will probably start with that, because it's the week of God of War Ragnarok, and that's looking like it's going to absolutely explode PS5 sales for that week. But anyways, we'll get into that next week. But there's a new patent that has been discovered, published by Sony Interactive Entertainment, PlayStation. It is suggesting that they are looking to exploring the use of NFTs in their games. Yes, everyone's favorite. Everyone loves NFTs and they love blockchains. Everyone's favorite. I'm kidding. Anytime about NFTs and blockchains, everyone's just like, oh, this is just a scam. Which, personally, yeah, NFTs is a scam. Yeah, you're gonna own an online image. No one's can't own that anymore. They can't right-click and save image as or whatever. It just seems bad. My crypto's like, as it is. If anyone's heard, the crypto market is really taking a dump. But anyways, a new patent by Sony Interactive Entertainment that was published this month with the July 5th, 2021 application date. So this patent was applied for in July 5th, 2021, but was recently published. So it's suggesting that PlayStation exploring the use of NFTs and blockchain technology in its games. So, the title, tracking unique in-game digital assets using tokens on a distributed ledger. A system and method for tracking digital assets associated with video games. The digital assets may be in-game digital assets such as in-game items or characters. I think the better way to put it is going into here. Under the background, individuals often find it meaningful to own or use unique physical items related to respected celebrities or activities. For example, fans of skilled baseball player Babe Ruth or of baseball in general often seek to purchase and own baseballs autographed by Babe Ruth, baseballs hit by Babe Ruth in an important baseball game, trading cards depicted Babe Ruth, and the like. Yeah, but those are real physical objects. NFTs are not real objects. It's just digital content. Video games is an increasingly popular activity worldwide. Skilled players of multiplayer video games gain popularity in multiplayer matches or tournaments, which are often live-streamed or otherwise broadcast to numerous viewers. Likewise, well-known players often live-stream or otherwise broadcast gameplay of single-player, multiplayer video games. I tend to do that myself. For instance, in which the players perform or attempt speedruns, in-game challenges, multiplayer matches, or other gameplay activities. I generally play games more casually. Some players who are particularly skilled or charismatic can develop large followings of devoted fans, much like fan followings for famous athletes, singers, actors, or other celebrities. In some video games, a player can use digital assets during gameplay. Such digital assets can include, for example, specific characters, costumes, or items. Stuff you get in a lot of multiplayer games, like you see battle passes, you get to the battle pass, oh, I've unlocked certain skins, or you purchase a skin for a set amount of money, or items to use and whatnot. In traditional video games, multiple instances of the same in-game item exist within the same copy of the video game or when within different copies of the video game. These different instances of the same in-game items are traditionally fungible, NFTs being non-fungible tokens, as they are indistinguishable from one another. For instance, even if a particular in-game item is rare to obtain within the video game, the in-game item is represented in the video game as a string of code that is identical to representations of other instances of the same game. Thus, in traditional video games, no one digital asset is unique from other instances of the same in-game item. As a result, in traditional games, there is no way to know, track, or authenticate a history of a particular instance of an in-game item. For instance, in traditional video games, there is no way to differentiate a specific instance of an in-game item that a famous player of the video game used to win a famous tournament from any other instance of the in-game. Yeah, because it's the exact same in-game item. Whether the person is famous or not who used it, it's the same in-game item. you know what? If Nintendo was trying to do NFTs or Xbox trying to do NFTs or whoever, no, it's a terrible idea. I mean, even if you look at, say, the comments of the article, basically, let's hope this is one of the many patents that never move past the conceptual stage. Honestly, not surprised every tech company's getting into it, yada yada. But why? Awful idea, nightmare. It's just people are not a fan of it. Hold on, let me just... Excuse me? Wrong page. There we go. Yeah, under detailed description. The techniques... Alright, starting here. The techniques and technologies described herein expand the capabilities of the digital assets associated with video games and of systems that create and manage such digital assets by converting the digital assets associated with video games from being fungible to being non-fungible. The techniques and technologies described herein expand the functionality of digital assets associated with video games and of systems that create and manage digital assets by tracking a history of the digital assets. Tracking the history of the digital assets can include, for example, tracking when, how, and by whom digital assets was created, used, modified, rented to, rented by, sold. Yeah. Now, does this patent mean Sony PlayStation is you're gonna all of a sudden start seeing NFTs in their games or available on the PlayStation Store or something? Probably not. They did recently launch what they call PlayStation Stars, which is a digital rewards program, free, a loyalty program where you get digital rewards for free, which they did state at one point the digital collectibles that you can earn in it are not NFTs. They are not NFTs in PlayStation Stars. Now, it's potential they were thinking of making PlayStation Stars with NFTs in it, but then they saw the backlash. Anytime a video game tried to add NFTs, people were like, no. Just in general, no one wants NFTs. There's just been negative backlash anytime any game has added blockchains or NFTs, and it's been a complete failure. So yeah, I would go with this is a patent that they're exploring this. Since this was July in 2021, and since the last year and 4 months or so, there's been a lot of backlash. So I'm gonna go with probably not. Also, Dave, you once bought $50 of crypto. It's worth $115. Nice. It's now worth $1.12. That sounds about right. I bought $25 of Dogecoin when it was 6 cents. It was worth like $300 at one point. Not bad, right? Not bad return. I should have sold it when I reached that peak. I didn't. And now it's actually, I think it was still worth more. Yes, I bought the meme coin, but for $25, why the fuck? My reaction was, why not? If I lose $25, I lose $25. If anyone's curious, my $25 of Dogecoin that I bought is now worth $67. I mean, technically it's worth more than it was, but not that much more. That sucks. Welcome back, Ness. How is Mindy doing? Hope she's doing alright. In other gaming news, Game Awards. Nominees were revealed today. I think we're just gonna watch the video. Let me lower that a bit.
Hello everybody, I'm Jeff Keighley, and on Thursday, December 8th, we are going to celebrate the best in video games and see what's next at the Game Awards, which streams live from the
Jeff Keighley, who hosts the Game Awards Summer Game Fest, creator of both of them.
The Game Awards Orchestra will return, and there are many.
You bought Felicia Day's Geeks. I mean, you know.
It's all about revealing the nominees across more than 30 categories.
If only I bought GameStop stock the day before they went nuts.
By our global jury of more than 100 media outlets. Remember, you can help select the winners by voting at the Game Awards.
Also, yes, go to thegameawards.com if you want to vote for your favorite games of the year-ish.
To announce this year's distinguished.
I say this year, but considering it's December 8th, there are some games not nominated or in this.
Ashley Birch, Horizon Forbidden.
So, best performance.
Forbidden West.
Ashley Birch.
Charlotte McBurney, A Plague Tale Requiem. Christopher Judge, God of War Ragnarok. Man Engage, Immortality. And Sonny Suljic, God of War Ragnarok. In the category of Best Multiplayer, the nominees are...
Best Multiplayer Game.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Of course, Call of Duty.
Multiversus.
Yeah.
Overwatch 2.
Makes sense.
Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge.
I mean, it's multiplayer. Interesting choice. Although I guess I think of PvP, and this is PvE, which actually I did play. I mean, it's fairly short. I enjoyed it.
For Best Ongoing Game, the nominees
Best
are
game that's been going for years.
Apex Legends,
How many Battle Royale
Destiny
games?
2, Final Fantasy XIV,
Or, I guess, MMOs.
Fortnite,
This is what they'd all be.
and Genshin Impact.
Just MMOs and Battle
The
Royale.
nominees for Best Art Direction are
Best
Elden
Art
Ring.
Direction. Elden Ring.
God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West,
Forbidden West.
Scorn,
Oh, Scorn.
and Stray.
Scorn. I still need to finish that, actually. Man, the visuals. The visuals of Scorn is beyond creepy. The game isn't actually, I would consider, scary, but man, the visuals are very creepy. If you know H.R. Giger, who designed the Xenomorph in Alien, that guy. That's what the art style is based off of.
For Best Score
Best
in
Score
Music,
in
the
Music.
nominees are Olivier Derivière, A Plague Tale Requiem, Susaka Sato, Elden Ring, Bear McCreary, God of War Ragnarok, Two Feathers, Metal Hellsinger.
Guess I mean, I might be biased as a huge fan of heavy metal music, but man, that music was
And
freaking banging
Yasunori
in
Mitsuda,
Metal Hellsinger.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3. The Best Audio
Yeah, I'm very
Design
biased.
nominees are Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2,
Best audio.
Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West.
By the way,
In
you're gonna see a lot of repeated games. You're gonna see a lot of repeated games in this. I think Elden Ring, God of War, and Horizon, you're gonna see the most.
Innovation and accessibility recognizes games that are making our industry
Marco wasn't
available
that, I
and
guess.
enjoyable to more people. Selected by a special committee of accessibility
Maybe.
experts, the nominees are
Games with
As
the
Dusk
best
Falls,
accessibility features.
God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island, The Last of Us Part 1, and The Quarry. For Best Narrative, the
By
nominees
the way,
are
I'm realizing I have not played the majority of the. I've played very few games from this year. Some games I'm waiting to come to PC. God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West I do want to play, but I'm waiting for them to come to PC. And God of War 2018 I still need to play, as well as Spider-Man Remastered again on PC.
A Plague Tale
I'm
Requiem,
just waiting for a new graphics card, then I'll be playing them.
Elden Ring,
Best narrative.
God of War
God of War
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Yeah.
Horizon Forbidden West, and Immortality.
Games for Impact recognizes a thought-provoking game with a profound pro-social meaning. The nominees this year are
A Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Endling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. For Best Independent Game,
Here
the
we
nominees
go.
are Cult of the Lamb,
Cult of the Lamb will
Neon
probably
White.
win this,
Sifu,
I think.
Stray, and Tunic.
Ooh,
For Best Mobile Game,
ooh. Never mind. As a Cult of the Lamb, everyone's talking about that, but then I'm like, right, a lot of people talk about Stray. Oh, Tunic. Oh, Tunic was fantastic. Tunic! Well, Tunic would get my vote. My gut's telling me a Cult of the Lamb will probably win it.
the nominees are Apex Legends
Best
Mobile,
mobile game.
Diablo Immortal,
I definitely don't play any of these.
Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, and Tower of Fantasy.
Tunic was fantastic.
Best Community Support
Few of the
presented by
bosses
Discord
took me forever to
recognizes
beat,
the game
man.
for
It's a lot
outstanding
of fun.
support, transparency, and responsiveness to players. Our nominees are
Apex Legends,
Best community
Destiny
support.
2, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky.
Okay, now it's time for one of my favorite categories, Best Debut Indie Game, which recognizes a
Dave, you're gonna
development
love one of the
team that
nominees.
made its first game in 2022, and clearly they hit it out of the park. The nominees
Best debut
are
indie game.
Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors.
There it is, Vampire Survivors.
For Best VR AR Game,
I hate to say, while it is so simplistic, it's so addicting. Vampire Survivors is
the
amazing.
nominees are After the Fall, Among Us VR,
Wait, what?
Bone
Among Us is in VR since when?
Lab, Moss Book 2.
Then again, I don't play Among
Red
Us.
Matter
Might be
2.
Why?
For Content
Didn't
Creator
know
of the
that.
Year, the nominees are Carl Jacobs, Ludwig, Nibellion.
Nibble! Oh, Nibble. He recently quit. He basically would post gaming news instantly on in Twitter, just basically as soon as it comes out. He recently just quit.
No Brew.
Doing that. I hope he wins.
And QT
I
Cinderella.
don't know half of
The nominees for Best Action Game are...
This is from this past year, Dave, so no, Half-Life Alyx wouldn't be on this. I'm fairly certain it did win the year it came out, if VR was a thing. Best Action Game, Bayonetta 3.
Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2.
Neon White.
Neon White.
Sifu. Teenage Mutant Ninja
Teenage
Turtles.
Mutant Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
The Best Action Adventure
And
Game
Best Action
nominees
Adventure
are
Game, let's see.
Plague Tale Requiem. God of War
God of
Ragnarok.
War. Horizon?
Horizon Forbidden West.
Yep.
Stray. And Tunic.
Tunic.
For Best RPG, the jury selected Elden Ring.
Well, Best RPG, if Starfield was actually out this year, but it's next year. Oh, please, Starfield be as good as the hype.
Live Alive. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Triangle Strategy.
Oh,
and Xeno.
he actually pronounced Pokemon Arceus correctly. Thank goodness. And so many people say Arceus, and it's like officially actually is Arceus.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3. The Best Fighting Game nominees are...
They're fighting games?
DNF Duel. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The King of Fighters 15. Multiversus. And Sifu.
Well, the thing is about Starfield, yeah, I said the first fan patch. You could say that, but the game has had a longer development time than any other Bethesda game, and it was delayed. Previously, Bethesda didn't exactly have the money to really delay their games, so they always had a lot of bugs. Well, now that they're part of Xbox, Microsoft is probably like, alright, give yourself that extra 6 months or whatever you need to polish the game up and make it that much of a better game. Hopefully, it's solid at first. But I do expect Starfield being in space and there being like over 1,000 planets to explore. I would expect. This might sound crazy. I'm expecting someone to recreate the Elder Scrolls planet on a planet in Starfield. It might be years down the line, I'm sure, but I'm expecting someone to do that.
Game. Remember, these have to be games that are officially announced.
Okay. Most
Nominees
anticipated
are
games.
Final Fantasy 16. Hogwarts Legacy. Resident Evil 4. Starfield.
Yeah!
And The Legend of Zelda Tears
Yeah!
of the Kingdom.
Ooh. It's going to be between Starfield and Zelda. Without a doubt, it's going to be between Starfield and Zelda for the most anticipated games. Easily the biggest two releases of next year.
This year, there's a new category at TGA.
Unless
Best Adaptation.
one of them gets delayed
which
to the year
recognizes
after.
excellence in authentically creating shows, movies, and other creative endeavors based on video game worlds and characters.
I'm looking forward to Hogwarts
Here
Legacy, but
are
not nowhere near as
first
much as
ever nominees
Starfield.
For Best Adaptation.
And obviously,
Arcane,
Zelda.
League of Legends. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. The Cuphead Show. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And Uncharted.
I really need to watch some of these.
Next up, Best Family Game. The nominees are
Line
Kirby and the Forgotten
Nintendo.
Land, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Mario and Rabbids
Nintendo.
Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch
Nintendo.
Sports, and Splatoon 3.
4 out of 5
The best-
family games are from Nintendo. Or I guess only Mario and Rabbids is Ubisoft, but it's still based on a Nintendo IP.
Sim Strategy
Ooh,
nominees
Sim
are
Strategy.
Dune Spice Wars, Mario and Rabbids Sparks
Mario
of
and
Hope, Total War Warhammer 3,
Warhammer 3 is supposed to be really good.
2 Point Campus,
2-point canvas.
and Victoria 3. This year, these 5 games are nominated for Best Sports Racing, F1 22,
Annual release.
FIFA 23,
Annual release.
NBA 2K23,
Annual release.
Gran Turismo 7,
Okay, there we go. Non-annual
and
release.
Ollie Ollie World.
Holly World.
Next up, we're looking at our 5 esports categories.
RTS isn't really much of a thing. No, it really isn't. However, Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, while he can't say anything specific because, you know, Activision Blizzard, the acquisition of Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard hasn't finished yet. But Phil Spencer says he would love to talk with Blizzard about bringing back StarCraft. RTS StarCraft and RTS Warcraft. He would love to bring those back. But yeah, RTS feels fairly dead. But that would be nice to see. He also wants to see Activision do games that's not just Call of Duty. Activision has a ton of IPs, but all their studios right now are working on Call of Duty. So.
Starting with best.
Esport. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't know. You guys might care about esports, but I personally don't. Game direction. Here we go.
2 categories. For best game direction, which recognizes outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design, the nominees are
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, of course.
God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Horizon.
As I said, you're going to see some games repeat
Immortality.
over and over again.
And Stray.
And finally, on behalf of the jury comprised of more than 100 global media outlets, I am proud to announce the 6 games selected for outstanding creative.
By the way, while over 100 media outlets do the nominees, the fans vote on their favorite. The actual final vote is by the fans, if you're wondering.
Excellence. The nominees for
Game of the Year
at the Game Awards are
A
Plague Tale,
Requiem from Asobo Studio and Focus Entertainment. Elden Ring by From Software and Bandai
one of the 2
Namco
games is likely going to win.
God of War.
And God of War. One of the other games. It's either going to be Elden Ring or God of War, is my guess. Although, I'm going to lean with thinking about it.
Ragnarok from
I'll give
Sony
you my
Santa
thinking in just
Monica
a moment
and
once we go
Sony
through the rest of
Interactive
them.
Entertainment. Horizon Forbidden West from Guerrilla Games and Sony Interactive Entertainment. Stray from Blue 12 Studio and Annapurna Interactive. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 from Monolith Soft and Nintendo.
Congratulations.
So, I believe you get to vote on it. So the final results are by votes, right? I was thinking Elden Ring or God of War, but now I'm realizing it's gonna be Elden Ring. Why am I thinking that? God of War and Horizon are gonna split the PlayStation fan base, or even if most of them will vote for God of War, enough of them will vote for Horizon instead of God of War. Well, Elden Ring is on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So I feel like Elden Ring will probably win it. If that makes sense. But yeah, I feel like it'll be Elden Ring, God of War would be in second. I couldn't tell you what would be in third. Like, A Plague Tale, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. None of them are that huge of games. Sales-wise. Sales-wise, of those 3, Elden Ring will probably be the best-selling by far of the 3, followed by God of War, then Horizon. But yeah, I feel like it should be, yeah, I definitely agree, yeah, Elden Ring. Elden Ring seems to be like the big one this year. And next year is going to look like it's going to be a fight between Starfield and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I almost said Breath of the Wild too. I'm pretty sure it's Tears of the Kingdom. Those will probably be the top 2 games next year. Which one will win it? Who knows? We'll find out in a year or so. Because I can't think of, like, I know there's a lot of games coming out next year, but, like, games that are that big, those are by far the 2 biggest games coming out next year. I'm sure I'm forgetting some big games, some huge games. I know there's Hogwarts Legacy, which I'm sure will be a solid game. I just don't think it's going to be on that level, if that makes sense. But yeah, those are the Game Awards nominations. You can vote on your nominations at thegameawards.com/nominees. Post that in Twitch chat if anyone wants to go ahead and vote on your favorite games. But yeah, also, yeah, the Game Awards will be aired live December 8th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on pretty much every platform. So yeah, that is the Game Awards nominations. Moving on to other gaming news. Nintendo of Japan is now refusing to repair products if customers are assholes, is the best way I'm going to put it. If they are an asshole, if they're harassing their employees, they will say hell no. But yeah, Nintendo PR. We made the decision after concluding our customers would understand because of the reputation we have built faithfully responding to them. It's basically, they have a new policy. Basically, if a customer is rude, hell no. But yeah, reasons for refusing a product to be repaired includes intimidation, threats, making insulting or denigrating remarks, invasion of privacy, excessive demands like asking for free repair after the warranty has expired, demanding an apology from Nintendo, excessive repeating the same request or complaint, and defamatory comments on social networks or websites is a reason to... Yeah, I feel like you're more likely to get Nintendo to repair your products if you're nice to them versus if you're a jerk. Just a feeling. Mind you, this is specifically Nintendo of Japan. I'm sure Nintendo of America or Nintendo of Europe already had these policies in place. Oh yeah. Sales! Elden Ring, speaking of what probably win Game of the Year, I guess we'll find out next month. Elden Ring has now sold over 17.5 million units worldwide. As of, would be September 30th, I believe, would be the date, the end of last quarter. 17.5 million units sold worldwide, which is up from 16.6 million June 30th, the end of the quarter previous. And then 12 million units sold worldwide and 1 million in Japan as of March 14th. Yeah, 17.5 million units sold worldwide, Elden Ring. Moving on to the latest VGChartz estimates. For the week ending November 5th, this week did see the launch of the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Nintendo Switch OLED model limited edition, which did cause a huge surge in Switch sales for the week, with an estimated 436,000 units sold worldwide, 134,000 sold in North America, 126,000 in Europe, 90,000 in Japan. PS5 in second place, 275,000 worldwide, 118,000 in the North America, 97,000 in Europe, 13,000 in Japan. And the Series X and S in third place, 210,000 sales, 101,000 in North America, 66,000 in Europe, and 3,000 in Japan again. These are estimated sales based on a limited set of data, and then as more data comes out, as I always like to mention, adjustments do happen as more figures do become available. And lifetime sales. We've got the Switch at 114.71 million units sold lifetime, followed by the PS5 at 25.56 million. Series X and S pretty much 18 million, or just a hair under 18 million sold lifetime. And in the next 3 or 4 weeks, the Nintendo Switch will outsell the PlayStation 4, and probably a week or two after that will be outselling the original Game Boy to become the third best-selling video game platform of all time, behind the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation 2. So, week-on-week sales, the Switch sales were up nearly 170,000 units compared to the previous week. PS5 sales were down nearly 52,000. Series X and S sales are down by over 7,000 units week on week. Previous week saw the release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which did boost sales a little bit. Year-to-date sales for 2022, Switch is at just a hair under 14 million, PS5 8.5 million, Series X and S 6.7 million. Now, generation over generation for the same week, so PS5 compared to the same week for the PS4. Series X and S compared to the same week for the Xbox One. PS5 is down by over 414,000 units, and the Series X and S is down by nearly 41,000 units. Why? Why is especially the PS5 down so much compared to the PS4? Well, one, the PS5 had stock issues, although the following week, update as I previously mentioned, God of War Ragnarok week, week ending November 12th, if my math is right, 5th? Yeah, 12th. God of War Ragnarok launched, and everything is showing that there is a ton of PS5 stock available, as well as the PS5 God of War Ragnarok bundle. So we're probably talking about a huge week, and easily will be the best week for PS5 sales for the year. And potentially the best week since launch of the launch week for the PS5. Potentially. I'll know, when more data comes in. It's a smidge of data we have now, which is not enough to, I don't feel safe to say, oh yeah, I give a range. I don't want to say that just yet, as I don't have enough data available. But yeah, for the PS4 and Xbox One for that same week, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 had launched, boosting sales up quite a bit. Year-over-year sales, PS5 sales are up nearly 13,000 units, 5%. Series X and S sales are up by 14,000 units, 7%. Switch sales are down by 90,000, 17%. And these are year-on-year sales. So this week over previous week. We also have gotten some monthly reports have come in over the last week. We have US, UK, and Europe monthly reports. US being data from NPD, 4-week period from October 2nd to the 29th. PS5 was the best-selling console in the US in October 2022 in terms of units and dollar sales, which is not really a surprise. It's the number one sold in units. It's going to be the number one in dollar sales because it is the most expensive console on the market. At least when you look at the average selling prices, the PS5 is $500 and the PS5 Digital is $400. With the Xbox, the Series X is $500, but the Series S is $300, and sales are more closer to 50-50 between the X and the S for the Xbox. Well, the standard PS5 is like 80% of PS5 sales. But yeah, Xbox Series X and S is the second best-selling console in terms of units sold in dollar sales, and the Switch came in third place in both categories. PlayStation 5 and Series X in October 2022 did see growth in the double-digit percentage amount year over year, and is the fourth straight month of such growth. Year-to-date sales, the Switch is the best-selling console in the U.S. in 2022, followed by the PS5 and Series X and S. This is, I believe, the first time the PS5 has now outsold the Series X and S for year-to-date. Year-to-date dollar sales, though, PS5 is first, Series X and S is second, and Switch is in third. Dollar sales, obviously, PS5 being the most expensive, again, ends up selling more in terms of dollar sales. Spending on video games in October in the U.S. were flat year over year. Video game content did increase 2% year over year. Main reason is Call of Duty released in October this year and released in November last year. Video game hardware sales are down 10% year over year. Now, PS5 and Series X and S sales are up. However, Switch sales are down, dragging down the amount of consoles sold. Because October of last year did see the launch of the Switch OLED model. Best-selling games in October in terms of revenue dollar sales. We got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in first. Gotham Knights debuted in second. FIFA in third. Madden in fourth. We got NHL 23 debuting in fifth. Mario & Rabbids debuting in sixth. We got Bayonetta 3 in ninth. Star Ocean, Dragon Ball, PGA also debuting in the top 20. And year to date, Elden Ring, best-selling game of the year. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in its very first month has debuted in second place for the best-selling games of the year in terms of dollar sales. Looking at other reports. Europe report, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 took first place on the Europe charts for October. Sales were up 125% compared to Call of Duty Vanguard. And after just 2 weeks on sale, Modern Warfare 2 sales are on the verge of already outselling lifetime sales of Vanguard. Again, this is in Europe, and is already the third best-selling game of the year, just behind Elden Ring. And while it doesn't state what the best-selling game is, I'm fairly certain that would be FIFA 23, which is like the best-selling game pretty much every year in Europe. FIFA 23 came in second place in sales compared to FIFA 22, we're up 4%. Let's see. There were 367,000 video game consoles sold across Europe. However, at least with the hardware sales, there are missing countries for this figures. There is no data for the UK or Germany, as well as some Eastern European countries. But yeah, with the tracked markets, console sales are down 33% year over year, mainly due to the Switch OLED model launching last year. PS5 was the best-selling console in the tracked European markets, and is the first time since September 2021 the Switch was not number one in these tracked markets. PS5 sales were for the month just ahead of the Switch, and the Xbox Series X and S was in third place. It is the only console to see sales actually up year on year in October in these tracked European markets. Sales for the Series X and S were up 26% compared to October 2021. Again, you look at the best-selling games: Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, FIFA 23, and GTA 5. At least in Europe, sales won't disappear. It's just crazy. And now, while that European report did not include UK stuff, there is the monthly UK report as well. PS5 was the number one selling console with sales barely ahead of the Series X and S. So it sounded like sales were practically tied between the three, with PS5 just a hair small advantage. But yeah, sales for PS5 were down 6% compared to September. Xbox Series X and S sales came in second place, with sales flat month on month. Nintendo Switch came in third place, but sales were up 5% compared to September. And the Nintendo Switch has now outsold the lifetime sales of the Xbox One in the UK, and is closing in on the PlayStation 3. And they were just under 175,000 video game consoles sold in the UK in October, which is down just 1% compared to September. Yeah, 175,000 sold in October. I can't remember if I said September, but October. And so far for 2022, this is how close console sales are in the UK. 40,000 units separate the PS5 Series X and S and Switch. 40,000 units separate the three. That is damn close between the three consoles. Ridiculously close. If you look at Unsurprisingly, with software, we got Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 in first, FIFA in second, Gotham Knights in third, GTA 5 in fourth, Mario & Rabbids in fifth, RDR 2 in sixth, PGA Tour in seventh, Mario Kart 8 in eighth, Splatoon 3 in ninth, and NBA 2K23 in 10th. Also, should be noted, games published by Nintendo do not include digital sales, while most other publishers do include digital sales in these charts. Well, Nintendo does not share that information, so a lot of the times Nintendo games would be higher up if they did include digital sales. And one last bit, God of War launch day, God of War Ragnarok, and its first day of sales in the UK, specifically just the United Kingdom, outsold the first week of God of War in 2018. One day of sales outsold 1 week of sales, which goes to show how big of a launch this is going to be. And 55% of the PS5 consoles sold, would be last week at this point, have been part of the God of War hardware bundle. So we're talking potentially around 55% of PS5 sold worldwide last week out of the God of War hardware bundle. Potentially. At least in the UK, that's if 55% remains in all the other countries, which don't know for sure, at least not yet. But yeah, that is going to do it for the Game News Roundup. If you've been watching this on YouTube, as always, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. And hope everyone did enjoy today's Game News Roundup. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next video.